Chinese officials are calling a recent diplomatic trip by Secretary of State Antony Blinken a new beginning for the two countries' strained relationship. Blinken's meeting with President Xi Jinping Monday ended with the pair agreeing to work towards stabilizing U.S. China ties. However, Xi would not commit to resuming communication between the nation's militaries, something the U.S. sees as necessary in order to avoid conflict over a misunderstanding. Despite some disagreements, both sides are painting the meeting as a sign of progress. But as U.S. Ambassador to China Nicholas Burns tells Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan, there are still many unresolved issues, including the treatment of American companies.
The Chinese take these actions, they raid an American firm, they fine them, they jail the employees. It's happened to 4 or 5 of our firms over the last couple of months, and there's often no reason, no explanation given to the American company. It seems to be intimidation.
And Arne Westad joins me now. He's a professor of history and global affairs at Yale University. Arne, what does China want out of what they're calling a new relationship with the U.S.?
I think they first and foremost want to have some kind of stability in the relationship overall. It doesn't mean that they will change their policies on anything that is really important to them, such as Taiwan, or such as some of the military buildup that China has been undertaking. But it's very clear now that they want to go for more stability than what we've seen over the past few months and years.
And what does that look like, stability? Will they, well, I'll stop there. What does that look like, stability, in terms of as they see it?
I think from a Chinese point of view, there are several layers to this, as there always is in Chinese foreign policy. One is to avoid a conflict over Taiwan. And I think that's the key issue in what has developed now over the past 3-4 years in U.S. China relations. Both sides know full well that there is only one solution to the Taiwan question, and that is status quo. And the Chinese are now moving a bit closer to actually expressing that. But above that, of course, there are other directions as well China thinks that one ought to go in, such as more trust-building measures and trying to deal with some of the global issues. But I think for them, that comes later. It's now about stability with regard to the Taiwan issue.
And Arne, what does the U.S. want out of the new state of things coming out of this meeting?
So as Ambassador Burns said, I mean, I think the main issue now from an American perspective is to try to reduce the quite relentless pressure that China has put on many American interests, both bilateral interests, but also interests with regard to the United States' presence overall in East Asia. The U.S. side wants to see less intimidation from the Chinese side, less attempts at dominating the region from the Chinese side. And I think, again, much of the test of this will be in the Taiwan Straits. It will be about what kind of rhetoric, not just from the Chinese side, but also from the American side, we will see after this meeting. That's the one to look for in order to try to grasp whether this has moved in a more positive direction after Blinken's visit.
You wrote a great piece in Foreign Affairs about how opaque our understanding is of China. And so what don't we know, and why don't we know it?
I think the most important thing that we don't know is the buildup of decision-making with regard to China's foreign policy, which is complicated. I mean, it's not straightforward in Washington either, as you know. But in China, it's even more complicated, mainly now because the role of the Chinese Communist Party has become so much more visible, so much more powerful in terms of deciding where Chinese foreign policy is going to go. And you saw that during Secretary Blinken's visit. It's the party leaders that have the top positions, that make the top decisions with regard to China's foreign policy. Not the foreign minister, not the Minister of Defense. It is those that have the key positions within the party that are driving it. And it's important, I think, both in terms of policy making on the US side, but also for the general public to understand that this is a nation that is now much more run by one party than it's been for more than a generation.
Well, thank you for leading perfectly into my last question, which is you bring up the example of Russia in your piece and basically make the case that the misunderstanding the U.S. had of the Soviet Union led to some bad policy choices as policymakers misinterpreted what was going on. So how should policymakers and the American public think about China, given the complexity with understanding exactly how it works in there?
The most important thing by far, as the United States foreign policy towards the Soviet Union showed when it was at its best, is to look at the output, look at what comes out. There is much we can't know about decision-making and probably will never know. But we have to look at what the output is. We have to look at what kind of rhetoric that the Chinese are using. We have to look at military preparedness on the Chinese side. We have to be very realistic, I think, in terms of the approach, which served us well when we were dealing with the Soviet Union, and I think would serve well with regard to China too. I mean, I'm not arguing, and I've never argued, that this is a kind of Cold War situation, but that's not the same thing that we can't learn from the Cold War in terms of how we make our decisions. It's about what they do. It's about the direction that Chinese policy seems to take. That's the key to this, much more than trying to understand the inner workings of the system. The more we know about that, the better it is, but we can never understand it perfectly.
Arne Westad with Yale University. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me on.